the All-American, Chris J.
Hey,
Weidman.
what's up,
There
Ariel?
he is. Hello, Chris. How are you? Long
How we
time.
doing?
How? I mean,
I'm
it's been
good,
so
man.
long.
Stop trying to. I know, man. How do I look? Do I look younger or older?
Can I just say, you look very svelte in the face. You look very skinny. What's going on here? You're 185er or 170 pounder?
Yeah, I'm going down to 170.
Love it.
So right now I'm 190 on the dot. No, I'm cutting weight this week, Ariel. So you projected your issues onto me at the start of this call with your guilt. You have guilt, and so you try to throw the guilt on me. And at the end of the day, you haven't had me on the biggest MMA show in the game, Ariel Helwani show. You haven't asked me to come on in a very long time.
That's
you
so
actually
crazy.
haven't even picked up the phone and called me,
That's
see how I'm
so
doing.
crazy.
You know, nothing. I really haven't. I haven't heard from you, man. And you know, we used to be friends.
That's so crazy.
I still consider you a friend. I don't, but I feel you have a lot of friends now. It's hard to get into that friend zone.
Yeah.
So at one point, I think we were friends, and now like you kind of found the way to.
The last time I asked
This
you to
is
come
what happens as fighters age. Like as they get older, their careers start going down a little bit. Ariel Helwani just says, "Peace." On to the next one.
The last time I asked you to come on, you said no. Just for the record. Just for the record.
I don't think.
Yeah,
that's
100% fact.
I'd like to see. Let's see the receipts.
I remember this vividly, and you know as well. And then, because you know I'm a very neurotic guy, asked you to come on Saturday. You respond right away. Then I give you a time, and you didn't respond for 24 hours. Then I was like, all right, we're done. It's okay. It's okay. You now have new friends. You're a big star on the weigh-in shows and all that, and I get it. So we had a little guilt session, but here you are. Here you are.
Carolina Chris. No, you don't get to finish. Carolina Chris was in the sauna while you were texting me. I was texting you back and forth, and my phone overheated. And I had sent the text to you, but I guess the phone had overheated as the text was being sent out, so therefore it didn't get to you, and before the overheating happened. So I apologize you didn't get that text, but you have a lot of apologizing to do just for the past 6 months or so.
Fair enough. I will apologize. By the way, Carolina Chris, I like that. Is that a thing? Like, are you a different person now than the one who was living in New York?
Different person. No, I don't know. It's hard to change, but I'm grateful to be out here. It's beautiful. We love being out here. The weather's nicer. People are really nice. There's less, crazy egos, and alpha male kind of feels more relaxed out here. Less traffic. It's nice. It's a peaceful place. Obviously cheaper to live.
Right.
We love being out here. It's been amazing. That being said, obviously like Long Island is always like going to be a home to me. Like it's always going to be in my heart, but yeah, we're happy to be out here, and enjoying it. But I don't know if I've changed as a person. Maybe, hopefully for the better. I guess you're always trying to get better. So hopefully I changed a little bit.
When you got the call to fight on the Northeast, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for you, the Northeast, right? I feel like the West Coast has treated you very well. I don't even know if you pay attention to that sort of thing. Did you think twice, or did you like this because it was closer to home? Or the original home?
I know I haven't done good at Madison Square Garden. And now that you're making me think about it, I guess I didn't do good in Buffalo.
I'm not. I'm just
so
saying.
I guess you might have a
speaking
point.
In generalities, just
You said in the Northeast, I haven't done well. Isn't that what you just said?
Yeah, I said it's been a mixed bag.
So what's general? Yeah. What else? Is there? Oh, Nassau Coliseum was good for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was great.
Right. So there's a plus. Anything else? Oh, Boston. I got 2 Bostons weren't good for me. You bastard! I might have to freaking cancel this fight. I didn't realize. I don't think about all these different things.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. It does. It's not in my head. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what is a good thing. Atlantic City. I'm undefeated in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
That's where I started my career. So when I got the call, to be honest, the first thing I go, oh man, that would be a really cool place to hang up the gloves. That was probably the first. That was probably one of the first thoughts. That's where I started my career. Maybe a good place to end my career. But as I started training, I said, let me see how my body feels. If I feel like I'm done, I'm gonna, I'll be done. 30 surgeries in and stuff. But I've been feeling amazing. But I was very open-minded to, being this last one. I am very cognizant that Atlantic City would be a cool place to hang up the gloves, but I don't see that happening. Just to speak to the elephant in the room. But yeah, I feel great right now, and I'm ready for Atlantic City, man. It's always been good to me. That's where I started. That was when, I became a ring combat champion. Had some big fights there. We sold out crowds, and that's when I was selling tickets out of my car, going around and selling T-shirts, and I felt like a drug dealer back then, trying to collect cash to get into a fight. And now I just get to show up and make a pretty good amount of money. So it's pretty cool. It's a nice full circle.
That is the first time that I, at least in our conversations, that I've heard you talk about hanging up the gloves. So how did you go from that thought being a thing to now saying definitively that's not a thing anymore?
Well, I think the thought started coming after I had the first, compound fracture in the history of the UFC, and went through all the recoveries and stuff. And then, my body, I've had 30 surgeries. My knees and everything were shot before I had, that leg injury. And then you throw that on there, it adds up to 14 different surgeries below the waist. So my body's been through a lot. And so, at some point you got to start thinking, all right, how much longer am I going to do this? 39 years old. It was painful a lot to just get the training, and have the motivation to train when you're dealing with pain. Pain is a thing that really is a motivator killer. So that was tough. So I had to start, looking, at the possibilities of possibly, hanging it up at some point. And then I started this training camp, and I'm not a salesy guy, but this is the deal. I started a supplement company.
Yeah, I saw it on your social media.
And hang on, I don't know if it's, hang on, let me send the voicemail. Someone's calling me.
How dare they?
And hang on. So, I've had 30 surgeries. I'm just, all this. I'm saying this for the people. I've had 30 surgeries. I've had a lot of pain, all different types of surgeries, from necks to knees to shoulders to elbows to hands. So athletes would always be calling me about advice on different, therapy techniques that I was using to heal up faster, different surgeons I was using, and recommendations and stuff. And I'm kind of a annoying guy to get in touch with, but when it came to injuries and pain, I always had a heart. I was very willing to talk to anybody, from guys who were just fighting a local show. It was usually fighters, but it was also a lot of times guys in different leagues, NHL, whatever sport. Guys would reach out to me, and because I've been a professional athlete for years, I've always been on the cutting edge of the newest stuff, and I've been privy to some cool things, like for example, going out to BioAccelerator in Medellin, Colombia. I've been there twice. Been to that's for stem cells. I've been to Germany twice to get Regenokine. You remember Dana White? Yeah. He actually had sent me out there because he had such great results with that. It was a Meniere's disease, is for his ears. So I went out there. I just whatever I could get my hands on that was within the realm of being legal and something I'm allowed to do, and it's going to help me feel better. I was right on the forefront of everything. And then there was actually one right before I found out about these pills. There was a supplement company, or not a supplement company. It was I guess it's a supplement company, but it was a cream that it was like this new type of cream, and they were the NFL athletes were using it. And then they wanted to sponsor the UFC, and I guess the first person that the UFC thought of as a good candidate to help get this product moving along was me, because it was going to help with pain and inflammation and all that stuff. So I jumped on the phone with the owner of the company, and he started walking me through how this is changing all these people's lives and how great it is and this and that. I go, oh, this is amazing. Can't wait to get it. I got it. I put it on right below my knee. Every time I get up and start warming up, and get up on my toes to start a workout, I would have this terrible, nagging pain right below my knee. And so I took the cream 3-4 days, and there was no difference. Around that, oh God, I'm getting freaking phone calls.
Oh, it's okay.
Around that same time, I'm going to a Bible study group, and I'm doing my podcast at the time, my original podcast actually. And I go to a Bible study group, and one of these guys, kind of not to throw shade at him, but give you a better idea, but he's like an overweight guy in his 50s. Hey, there's this product me and my family have been taking for like the last 10 years. And he's seen that on my podcast, I had these different doctors come on my show. He's like, do you mind asking these doctors about the ingredients inside these pills? Because I just want to make sure that we're not going to end up having like a heart attack or something, because it's almost too good to be true. It's changed our family's lives, like these with pain and inflammation, arthritis, or whatever stuff they were dealing with. He's like, do you mind just asking if it's okay for us to take? So take a look at the ingredients. I send to my doctor buddies, and they come back to me. They're like, oh, no, this is all FDA approved stuff. Like every ingredient in there is fine. It's basically like food product. So he's like, no, it's fine. He had given me a bag. I ended up taking 2 pills before I went to training one day, and I forgot. I start bouncing before my workout, and my leg is back. Like I don't feel any pain. And I go, holy shit, it's the pills. Those pills actually freaking work. And we're talking all natural, organic pills. And I'm like, there's no way. So I take it again the next day, and same thing, gets better and better. I'm like, this stuff is insane. So basically I was like, man, this is just one doctor from India that's giving it to this, like a couple families out here. And I go, we need to get this to other people. This is crazy. So basically it's been a lot of work, me making this happen. And now I'm selling the pills, went into business with them, and it's trinitygoldnutrition.com. If you got pain and inflammation, for me and the people that have tried it, it's been amazing. So yeah, that has really catapulted me and kind of rejuvenated me being excited, not heading into this fight, retiring. I really feel great. It's the first time, and this is not bullshit. I'm not a sales guy. I hate sales guys. I'm not bullshit. I'm just trying to help people. Actually, if the pills don't work for you, you get your money back. Like money back guaranteed.
Wow.
I cannot tell you, I haven't been able to load my right leg and explode off of it. I've had to work around that for the last like 12 years. I'm now loading my right leg and exploding off of it, and without pain for the first time. This stuff is amazing, and I just want to be able to help other people. And so I'm not bullshitting. Check out the pills. I can't wait for you to try them. I don't care about the money, and I'm not making much money off of it. It's not the greatest margins and all this stuff. A lot of business people think I'm stupid. I probably am, but it doesn't matter. Like I just want to get this to people to help them out. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is great news.
Thank you. And we'll be adding, there's so many things this guy could help with, and there's so many more recipes coming, but this is the flagship one. I think it works amazing right away, and it's something that speaks to me, and it's a great one to move forward with.
So that's the physical side of things. Psychologically, how are you feeling going into this one?
I think because physically I feel so good, mentally I feel really good. I'm excited to go out there, and I feel great in training. The coaches are, I know what it sounds like, and I get it. But the coaches think like, if I wanted to, if I have the energy to do it, like I could be the best in the world again. And I do feel that way. Now I gotta go and put in the work. I gotta actually show that in the UFC. So we'll see on Saturday night how I look. But the way I feel is amazing.
So obviously you're still home in South Carolina, right? South or north? South, north, south.
Yeah.
South or north?
South, but it's like right outside of Charlotte. So it's like you fly into Charlotte, and it's like 10 minutes over the border.
So when you fight, will Longo and Sarah and those guys be in your corner? And how does that work when you're doing the whole camp in South Carolina?
Yeah. So I got Wonder Boy in the corner. I got Ray Longo in the corner, and Matt's not going to be in the corner this time. Obviously, I love Matt. I would love for him to be in the corner too, but you only get 3.
Oh.
And the guy Jeff Jimmo from out here, who's been training me, his gym is called the Jimmo. GYMO. He's been great. So he's going to be in my corner. He's been helping me so much, man. He's been putting so much time into me. Yeah, so he's going to be in the corner as well.
Okay. Every fight is important. Every fight is the most important. Do you feel like this is must win for you in the UFC? Do you feel like this do or die?
Yeah. It's definitely, I don't like to use the word die, but okay. It's definitely a do. If I lose, it's like, okay, I would have to rethink about where I'm at, and we'll deal with it then. But I think I win this fight, there's a lot of great opportunities for me. So I just got to get on the winning column, look good doing it. And yeah.
You like the matchup? Bruno Silva. Were you familiar with him? I'm sure you are now, but originally when you were offered him.
Yes, I was familiar with him. Not like crazy familiar. I remember he had that really tough fight with Alex Pereira, what was that, 3 years ago when Pereira was kind of fresher in the UFC. That was a really close back and forth stand up battle. And so he stood right there with Pereira. He's a tough dude who he's not afraid to scrap with anybody. He has a knockout win over Brad Tavares in the first round. I feel like he kind of, he caught him. He's unorthodox, striking. He ended up catching him in the first round. He had a crazy fight with the Russian dude with the one eye in his last fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm familiar. I'm definitely familiar with him. And this time, learning from my last fight, I watched more tape than I've ever watched on any fighter that I've ever fought, by far, actually.
Really?
After that last fight with Brad Tavares, yeah, because I really just felt really stupid in that last fight, getting leg kicked to death. After coming back from the traumatic leg injury and everything, we really didn't think he was going to be a leg kicking like crazy. Watched a couple of fights. I had him more as just a boxer, kind of likes to get in the pocket and throw combinations. And then come to find out he's got I think he apparently has the second most leg kicks in the history of the middleweight division. And we had no idea. Even I don't want to throw Longo under the bus, but remember him going, I don't think the guy's much of a leg kicker. And apparently it was when you got a guy who's coming off a traumatic leg injury and he's also a leg kicker, it was a good game plan. But it definitely threw me off. He outsmarted me, man. He circled, kicked, and then kept running, circle, kick. Wasn't coming into the pocket with me. It was weird. I was expecting him to want to strike with me. And then when that happens, it opens up wrestling and, my game. And, and it was just a completely different fight. And at the end of the day, I had to take responsibility. I didn't watch any tape really at all. And so I learned from that. So this time I did my best watching tape. And obviously we know he's most likely going to come out leg kicking and stuff. He'd be stupid not to. So I'm very prepared for that too.
I was talking about you yesterday at my son's soccer game because I was talking to a dad who knows what I do for a living, and he just watched UFC 299, and it was one of the only shows that he's ever watched as far as UFC. He's not a fan, and he was talking to me about Cheeto getting kicked in the face, and this is so brutal. How do you watch this? It's so intense, etc. And he just separated his shoulder skiing, and he separated it pretty badly. And I said, this is exactly why I respect these people, and I mentioned you because of what you've been through. Imagine someone would tell you, all right, in a few months, you're going to go back skiing. You're going to fall the exact same way that you fell, and you're going to hurt yourself again. And there's a chance it could even be worse this time. This is all going to happen. Are you doing this again? Are you going back on those skis? Knowing that you're about to fall and you're going to separate your shoulder again, there's a possibility when you fall. He's like, no, hell no, I'm never going to ski ever again if I know that's going to happen the next time. I said, that's why I have so much respect for MMA fighters. They know exactly that the same thing could happen again, and they're like, sign me up. When can I get back in there? And no better example than you. Most, mere mortals, normal people like me that are afraid of everything, they'll be like, nah, I'm done. I'm good. I'm done. You're just like, when can I go back in? Surgery. And then what happened in August? When can I go back in? When can I right the wrong? That just is what, the most basic way that I can explain what separates you from me, you from the rest of the world. And so it's amazing that you don't even you just say okay, I just have to figure this out. He's going to kick me. He'd be stupid not to. And it's all good. All to say, do you feel like you're officially over what happened 3 years ago, or does it still linger in the back of your mind?
Well, just to address what you said first, I think everybody's capable of having that same, I guess to describe mental toughness and courage. But I think it just comes from obsession. If you become obsessed with something and the passion of that will override the fears of possibility of negative outcomes. So I really love this game. I don't really like to say the word fight. I'm not like a purist when it comes to that. I just love the the chess game of the whole thing. You know, I love that it's every martial art that's ever been around encapsulated into one. You know, and you gotta be physically, you know, fit. You gotta be mentally fit, and it's really like the smarter and the person who has more will to win will usually win. And then anything else, and the crazy thing is that I love even more. It's a catch-22, but not always the best guy wins. You could dominate you could be so much better than a fighter, and one shot hits, and it's over. Now you're the guy who sucks, that, you know, should retire or whatever the situation is. But all that makes it that more exciting, that much more exciting. So yeah, I think if people could put their minds into that mindset and something in their life, they could battle through anything and they'd be successful through anything. Because at the end of the day, we all suffer adversity in whatever we're doing, whether it's a job or whatever passion you're into, and you can't just quit, right? You gotta be able to push through that adversity and battle back. And yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot what your actual question was, though.
The question was just like, is it completely out of your mind? Do you feel like you still think about a focus? I know there was the E60 doc that came out at the end of last year, so that obviously probably brought up emotions. But do you feel like you've moved past it?
You know, I felt like I moved past it before that first fight with Brad Tavares when I first came back. But then he leg kicked me and I couldn't leg kick back. It just my body wouldn't let me do it, or my mind wouldn't let me do it. And I think I got over it. But really the truth is, we'll see. You know, I don't know if you ever truly get over it, man. What happened to me is really unlike what ever happened to really anybody. And everything I had to go through to get past that has been a lot. So I don't know if you ever get through it, but you find a way to become better from it. You know, you find the silver linings and the blessings and disguises and all that. So will I be able to throw leg kicks hard back to reattack? That's the question. And I hope so, because I want to. We'll see. You know, some people might say you don't even need a leg kick, but a lot of times, you know, people don't realize when someone leg kicks you, you want to answer right back with leg kicks of your own. That's usually my first defense is, you know, check, leg kick back. So when that was taken away from me, it threw me for a little bit of a loop, but I have been training to make sure I defend properly, and some different techniques as well, but I'm prepared. I'm planning on, you know, coming right back.
Can I be honest with you? I have to tell you something. I have to get something off my chest. I have not.
Let it out, buddy.
I have not seen the E60 documentary, and the reason for that is I don't know. You know how I feel about you, and our careers kind of started at the same time, and it was devastating to see what happened. And I don't know if I have it in me to see that. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. It just it feels too painful, and maybe in 5 or so years. So I want to be honest with you when I say that, because it looks incredible, and I know the people that produced it, and it's ESPN and it's E60, and I'm sure it was great. Could I ask how you felt about it? Were you happy with the final product?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. They did a really good job, which I didn't expect, on kind of capturing my complete career in a short, you know, duration. Not just, I thought it was going to be more just kind of on the fight, my leg breaking, and then all the drastic measures and everything I had to go through to get back. But it was more than that. It kind of captured my career from beginning to the point of my leg breaking, and then my recovery. They really captured a lot. And I think they did a great job telling my story. It's a lot of stuff you've seen, you know, a lot of stuff that you're very familiar with. It wasn't as gory. Like, so Alex Smith, when they did his, it was really focused on the goriness and all that stuff. And I don't know if goriness is a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But with mine, and I thought they were going to go that route because, for example, one, like I said, mine is the first compound fracture in the history of the UFC, which I actually didn't know. I was told by the physical therapist, Heather. But and nobody ever seen the footage, which they have, of when my bones actually came out of the skin and you see the blood and all that. No one's seen the replay of that. I have. Oh. And we, ESPN had it, and they didn't put that up. They didn't want to go the really, gory route. Is gory the word I'm looking for? I said it so many times.
Yeah,
gory a word?
I know what you mean. So it's working, whatever it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're owning it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. You say a word so many times, I'm like, wait, is that even a word? But I thought they were going to do that, and then also, so that, which I have that video, and I'm actually going to be putting that video up with a little me talking through the injury, because I think it's good for people to see, the nastiness of the whole thing. And the other one was, so when I got it became infected after the third or fourth surgery. And it got infected really bad in 2 spots, to where I had 2 holes down to my bones. And so I had to stuff my own leg full of gauze. My wife would help me too, but fill it full of gauze, and then every day pull the gauze out and stuff it again down to my bone. I could see my bone. So we have videos of that. They didn't use that. They just kind of showed my leg pussy a little bit in the E60. So there's nothing gory.
Okay.
I
was expecting gory. That's why I was avoiding it, because it's a heartbreaking thing.
No.
Okay.
Wasn't too crazy, but I might show that as well at some point. I think it's good for everybody, all my fans, supporters, everybody kind of see everything I went through. I'll put that up as well.
2 last things, and we'll end on a positive note. I love the weigh-in shows. I really do. And someone was asking me about them recently, and I think it's the best thing that the UFC produces, obviously, outside of the fights, because, like, you in particular, your personality, I wouldn't put you on the desk. I don't think that's the best use of your personality. That environment where it's loose, it's the closest thing that they have to inside the NBA, which is the best studio show in sports. That's with Barkley and Shaq, etc. Like you and DC, you guys. And so I'm just wondering, why does it work so well? Why do you think it works so well? What is the magic to it? And are you like a fixture at this point? Is it just every pay-per-view? And if not, why the hell aren't you a fixture?
So, yeah, Zach Candido, he's every pay-per-view I'm asked. I'm the guy who asked. Obviously, during this fight camp, I wanted to focus on this fight. I'll be at UFC 300 weigh-in show, and
great.
I'm not at 301, but I'll be on like 302, 303, and moving forward. I really do love it. And you're right. Like the analyst work and all that stuff. Anything that, for me, if you have to rehearse it and you have to start like overthinking your thoughts and making sure you say it in a really like collective, intelligent way, like, I don't love that. It feels like fake, and I just don't like it. And when you're on the desk, there's rehearsals and all that stuff. For the weigh-in show, it is just you out there BS. And I mean, they give you alcohol, you're drinking whatever on the show, you're playing games, you're busting balls. I get to make fun of people. I get to make fun of DC. I just have fun doing it. Like that's my favorite thing to do, is bust people's balls and have my balls busted. I don't like friendships where people can't bust my balls. Please, because otherwise then I can't bust your balls, because then it gets awkward. And then it's just like a stale, boring relationship. I love friendships that you could just have fun with each other and not take anything too serious. And that's what that weigh-in show is. It's just nobody's taking themselves serious. It's relaxed. And we just have fun. And we talk about the fights. We talk to the fighters right after they get on the scale, which is always a really cool thing, because I know that's a tough thing to do, is to do an interview right after you get off the scale, man. You make that weight and now you're on camera. It's so annoying to do that. I was doing the weigh-in shows leading up to my last fight, and then I weigh in, and then after my weigh-ins, they come up to me and ask if I'd like to be on the weigh-in show to do an interview, and I was like, I'm good. I said no. I was like, I kind of feel shitty right now. I'm good, man. I'm trying to focus on drinking and hydrating back up. Yeah. It's a privilege. I'm honored that they asked me to go on there. I have a great time doing it. And I don't think I'm anything special. I do think there's plenty of people out there that are good. These other fighters, I'm sure there's great guys that could do something similar to what I'm doing. I have a great time doing it. I hope they keep asking me, but yeah.
I especially like when you name drop me from time to time. It's always good.
I always, that's always, that's how you know I'm just being real.
Yeah.
When there's a UFC broadcast and I'm name dropping Ariel Hawani,
That's right.
So
that's right.
That's why I thought we were friends, but
and we are.
It doesn't seem like that.
Oh, stop it with that.
Buddy.
All right, stop it with that. I mean, I would take a bullet, literally a bullet, jump in front of a train for you. Okay, I'd catch a grenade for you, as the great Bruno Mars once said. Final thing, what's it like now to see your? I saw on your Instagram, like there was one weekend in particular, both boys killing it in wrestling, baseball. Your daughters doing the cheerleading thing. Like now you are full on dad who is seeing their kids follow in your footsteps as far as athletic endeavors. What's that like to see that get passed on to them?
Ooh, like that gives me the chills just talking about it. I like that's your last question. And I'll take this moment to kind of gloat. I'm not usually this guy, but there was one weekend this year where it was the craziest weekend of in Weidman history as far as athletic endeavors go and accomplishments. In one day, in one weekend, but in one day, on Saturday, both my sons win the state championship in wrestling, which was not like a shoe-in, by the way. They had losses during the year. My kids play every sport. Right now they're both in two different sports. All three of my kids are in two different sports right now in this season.
Wow.
So they do everything. So wrestling comes around, they give their best to that. But then I want them to do everything. Obviously, my heart's wrestling is my favorite. I think it does the most for people, character-wise, and I think gives most to them for the rest of their life. But I'm definitely biased, but I think I'm right. But at the end of the day, they're going to pick whatever they like. When it came to this Saturday, both sons win the state championships. Not one point is scored on them. They look amazing. They stepped it up in high-pressure situations. My little guy, Colton, who is happy-go-lucky, usually doesn't care that much. Hey, if I win this match, if I lose this next match, am I going to be able to still get a medal? Like that's where he's at. He pinned everybody in under 45 seconds.
Wow.
It was the first time. He never gets nervous because he doesn't really care. He was nervous. He was jumping. He wanted to win. Finally, he actually was like really putting the pressure on himself, taking deep breaths before matches. I've never seen it. Goes out there and everybody pinned under 45 seconds. CJ's unscored on against. He had one pin. He had two pins and one shutout in the finals, and he just looked amazing doing it. That same day, my nephew, Charlie Weidman, the fifth, my nephew who lives in Connecticut, he was in the New England Championships, which is how many states are considered New England. I think there's like 5 or 6 states. He went out there and completely decimated the competition and won the championship, New England Championships, which is a really big deal. And he just committed to West Point. The next day, my daughter wins the national championships in cheerleading. So it was, for me, the biggest, and my family, like the biggest weekend in Weidman history. So anyway, this year has been good. I gotta keep it going for the Weidman.
I love that. And I love that you would say, like, that's the biggest weekend in Weidman history and not anything that you've accomplished. You know what I mean? That says it all right there. The biggest weekend in Weidman history could have been.
This was bigger. This was bigger. I was so proud. I'm not that dad who's constantly bragging about, their kid or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with a dad who's doing that. But I'm just typically, I'm not that guy. I was so proud. I couldn't wait to do a post and let the world know what just happened, because it was a huge moment for our family. It was really cool.
Another one to come on Saturday. Much love, Chris. I'm so happy that our back and forth guilt trip yesterday over text resulted in this, and that you didn't win out by trying to not do this, because I felt that you didn't want to do it. But in the end, wasn't it great? Wasn't it nice to rekindle the flame? Wasn't it nice to reconnect after all this time? The small people give us a little bit of a rub, it's nice. We were on the plane together going to Brazil. You remember that? You remember you and me?
Self-deflating act you always do. People are tired of the self-deflating act. It's only you. It's only it's only cute for a little bit.
No, there's no cute.
It's only endearing for the first few times.
I was there, Sandy Hook, on the lawn.
At some point, it goes from endearing to nauseating.
Wow. Mr. Bust Balls is
Yeah.
taking it to the heart, huh? Mr. Bust Balls himself. Come on, Chris.
Can you not
Toughen
bust
up.
balls back? Come on, let's go. Let's go. Get tough. Get
All
tough,
right.
Ariel Helwani, man. You're facing adversity right now. You keep swinging for the freaking fences. Or
Something
let's
like
go.
that. Yes. Okay. Much love. Good luck this weekend. Can't wait for it. And looking forward to the big W and talking about it afterwards. All right.
Yeah, let's talk afterwards, man. This is gonna be really cool. Get a win in Atlantic City, home crowd. It's gonna be freaking electric in there. I can't wait.
Good luck. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. All right, bye-bye.
There he is, Chris Weidman. I like the all right, bye-bye. Okay, enough of you already. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.